right, it's good. Good to get through the spring game here. First thing I would, really appreciate the crowd that showed up today. I thought we had an excellent showing. And that's what you play a spring game for, is to give the guys that haven't been in a game time or a game like situation that feel. And I know it's not exactly a Saturday in the fall, but with the crowd we had today, it was pretty significant. And, playing in front of fans, playing when the time is on the clock and the score is being kept is something you don't get a piece of the rest of spring ball or fall camp. So the next time we'll be out there will be, I think it's September 2nd. So it was a good day for our guys, and really thank the crowd for showing up. And I think this is what you want. You want a relatively clean game. You want to walk away and feel like it looked like football. And a lot of guys got an extra opportunity here, another opportunity to show what they can do. And I think that's what we'll feel like we walked away with. Not a lot of fireworks necessarily offensively. When you have, Tommy Millott in a gold jersey, there's only so much he can do run-wise and, skill-wise, tight end-wise, receiver-wise. We were down numbers today, and a lot of guys that were making plays in the fall weren't out there, but generally pleased with the way it looked, and we'll have a chance to evaluate and come out of spring with our next depth chart, and that's the foundation of where we will be heading into the summer. Certainly charge the guys to have, a real significant outlook as far as the improvement that needs to be in front of us. When you talk May, June, and July, we need to be a better team come August than we are today, and really counting on our leaders to, and obviously working with Coach Aaron and his staff to get that done through the next several months. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
The blue team had a lot of the most proven offensive linemen, and they seem to move the ball pretty well, especially early. So, I mean, is that what you want to see when you do have some of the most proven guys up front?
Yeah, and, you look at the big picture. Offensive line was a position where we already are deep. We had most of those guys. So, we got 7 guys that have played in games. So even 2 guys were on the other team. So that should have been a strength of the outfit today. Contrary on the defensive line, interior-wise, we are down there, so that should have been an advantage to the, in particular the blue team. But yes, we need to be able to lean on that group, and I think we've seen, really good progress through the spring with the offensive line, and ultimately there's a lot to play out yet. Like I said, there's 7 guys that have played in games. That includes Connor Moore, who didn't play a lot, but we count on him for big things. We'll add Jacob Kettles back to the mix, Titan Fleischman, so that's now 9 guys. Competition up front, depth up front is critical, and I do think we have that.
How much of Connor Moore's emergence does let you do some of that mix and match stuff? You saw Reimer play left guard and JT replay in center.
Well, I think what you want to look at it, we want to create as much position flexibility as we can. So the older guys that have played, if they can, like Rush, add another position potentially to their ability to be on the field. Cole Sain snapping, we've snapped JT Reed a little bit. While at the same time locking Connor Moore into tackle, continuing to lock Omar into guard, because what we want to do in the fall is get our best 5 out there consistently. It doesn't mean we're just going to play 5, but, position flexibility, competition is there, and, a young guy like Connor deserved a look and really made a good impression here this spring.
One group that did have most of the guys out there today were running backs. Garrett has a touchdown, Elijah. I guess what do you think of the backfield today?
Yeah, I think, as I've talked about, I see us as a backfield by committee come the fall. We will have, a couple freshmen that we continue to add to the mix. And, I think Jared, I'm not going to go in any particular order here, but just as I think about him, I think Jared had a couple good runs. It's good to see him back. I mean, it's been a battle back for him injury-wise. Elijah, I think, continued to improve through the course of the year last year, and he's been kind of a constant back there, and that's important that he continues to be that. Marquis, the type of game we played today didn't necessarily highlight, and then he pops that runoff at the end, and you're reminded of kind of what he can do, and Garrett Kuhn as well. So having 4 of them and those guys being able to battle through spring was good. It's stay healthy, and constant battle, I think, for who's going to get those touches. And like I said, I think it's going to be a backfield by committee approach, and we'll see how we add those other pieces to the puzzle, how that'll play out in fall camp.
And you mentioned earlier not a lot of offensive fireworks, but there's a pick six on the defensive side, interception earlier. I guess what do you think of that secondary today?
Yeah, I know that's a group with a lot of new faces. Blake Stillwell being one of those new faces that's missed a lot of time in the spring due to injury, but he's been out there now this last week in particular, and for him to make a play like that, I do think he's got a lot of ability. So certainly good to see that. I think Aiden Parks made the other one. That was a heck of a grab. We got a lot of, we got position battles going on in the interior. I think Rylan Orr certainly established himself as our strong safety, but who's going to back him up at free between Drew Polidor, Tyson Pottinger, and then Blake Stillwell? That's going to be an ongoing battle. And at that nickel position between Caden Dollar and Lavelle Price, I think they're both left their mark here this spring. So a lot of potential in that group. Some big shoes to fill, but I like our progress right now. And corner position will continue to reinforce that spot. But the emergence of Miles Jackson, has been one of the things that I probably haven't talked about enough this spring. Miles is really coming to his own, and for the first time since I've been here, it feels like he's settled into a position. I know we've kind of moved him back and forth, and he's just got a different confidence about him. So, a ways to go collectively with the 5 positions on the back end, but we saw some really good progress.
Is a junior? Is he planning to be at age kind of full time, or was that more of a Cleveland taco route with positional flexibility?
We hope to play Cleveland outside by and large. I know we made that transition later in the year last year, and then Junior's a guy that is bigger, but I think really has the ability to play inside. He's got a real good feel in there. So how you saw him today is how he's been practicing most of the spring, and I think he's a big body guy that's got excellent body control, catches the ball really well. Giving us a bigger body type to block inside is part of the thought process there too. So excited about the progress Junior's made, and it was good. Everybody got to see it firsthand today.
Rush and JT, I mean, it's safe to say that they're not like moving to those positions, but they're you're just trying them out and seeing where.
Yeah, we'll come out with a depth chart, and is that set in stone? Not necessarily, but we really liked what Rush did at guard. And again, fitting it together so we can get the best 5 out there to start that first game is what we're after. And seeing JT and Colsane, snap the ball a little bit, play some center, that gives Justice some competition that he wouldn't have otherwise if we didn't plug someone else in there. So we'll see how it plays out. I think the guys have taken to it, and they understand why we're doing it. And, I think we're after team success, and that's what they're all about.
Evaluation of the young quarterbacks, Jordan Reed and Chance Wilson. How'd you think they did?
Well, I think Jordan up and down. I think at times operates really well through the interception. At times coming off the knee and being in a gold jersey does not help him. He is athletic, and still figuring that piece out of how to practice that way has been a challenge. But I say that I think he's 7 months removed from ACL surgery, so the reps that he got this spring, will go a long ways. He got his fall cut short last year, and I think we really liked how he was trending. So he'll be able to bank all these reps and, come fall, be a better guy in every which way. And you can add his athleticism into that mix where we're running the football and, not having to play the way he's had to play this spring. I think he'll continue to move forward. Chance obviously flashes with his athleticism. Throwing wise, he's more than capable. Playing on a day like this in front of fans, that's a big thing for a high school kid, and he's still a high school kid. Could be going back to prom here if he really wanted to. So I think him being here, where he'll be come August relative if he, hadn't come in early, I think we'll see a noticeable difference. And the good thing is at this point, a guy like him isn't pressed into action. At any rate, Jordan obviously we'll leave as the third string guy, and I think he's on a good track with missing as much time in the fall as he did. But they're both. I think we love the potential that they both bring, and they're both probably smack dab in the middle of this process that you see a bunch of good and a bunch that's correctable.
Zach Cruz flashed today. Is there anything you can kind of say about his performance?
Yeah, I think I think for Zach, putting his hand down first time, playing defensive end for the first time, really good. I think progression through the course of spring, and I think everybody's full well the type of athlete that he is. So yeah, we're glad to have him here. Like I've said before, I think he's really integrated into our team, and this spring he was able to lay a foundation for what where he'll go from here. But pleased with his continued progress.